5 ways to build mental toughness and become more resilient. Mental toughness is about how we handle stress, pressure, and challenges. It's about remaining strong despite the difficulties we face. Mental toughness is essential because life isn't all sunshine and rainbows. Everyone, no matter who they are or how much money they have in their bank account, is going to experience adversity. Adversity is not a one-time event. We'll have multiple hardships throughout life, which means it is essential that we brace ourselves for what we know is coming. Think about it like this. When a boxer trains, he is preparing his body for the blows he will receive from his opponent. He knows that his opponent is training just as hard to ensure that his punch game is on point and does some damage when it connects. But the stronger the body, the quicker it will recover from these blows. Is it going to hurt? Absolutely. And the boxer knows this. But the plan is to recover quickly and keep fighting. The same applies for mental toughness. It is preparing yourself for the difficulties that are to come and ensuring that they don't break you, but that they introduce you to a higher dimension of life. Here are 5 ways to build mental toughness and become more resilient. 1. Step out of your comfort zone. One of the things that I hate the most is public speaking. Apparently, I'm not alone in this, because surveys indicate that approximately 75% of the American population fear public speaking. I worry that I will stumble over my words, say the wrong thing, and make a complete fool of myself. I felt like this when I started, and I still feel like this now. When I learned about the power of stepping out of your comfort zone, the first thing I thought about was public speaking, because at the time it was my worst fear. Since I'm such an extreme person, I didn't ease myself into it. I jumped right into the deep end. Although I was literally shaking when I spoke in front of an audience for the first time, I did it. No, I didn't get a standing ovation, and I'm very sure the audience detected my nervousness. But I didn't care about any of that. I was proud of myself. Growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. You've got to step out of it if you're serious about becoming the best version of yourself. 2. Develop a positive mindset. Have you ever confided in someone about what you were going through, only for them to say something like, "People are starving in the world. Be grateful for what you've got. Stop focusing on the negative"? While this is a true statement, it's not what you want to hear when you're seeking empathy from the person you trusted to be vulnerable with. This is an example of toxic positivity. It involves ignoring the issue and the emotions accompanying the issue in favor of a positive mindset. It's a delusional way of thinking that does more harm than good because you are burying your emotions. People who engage in toxic positivity don't know how to regulate their emotions. Instead of confronting them, they ignore them, which is not healthy in the long run. A person with a positive mindset acknowledges their emotions and deals with them accordingly. They allow themselves to grieve, but at the same time, they understand that difficult situations are temporary and there are important life lessons they can learn from what they've been through. 3. Practice self-care. What does self-care have to do with building resilience, I hear you say? I too asked this question when I first encountered the idea, because self-care is about taking care of yourself and doing the things you enjoy. Self-care does many things. It helps you alleviate stress, reduces anxiety, and gives you the mental energy required to deal with life. One of the many reasons people have breakdowns is because they don't take time out for themselves. They are constantly on the go, ripping and running, and eventually it takes a toll on you. There is absolutely nothing wrong with being a go-getter, but if you don't take breaks, you will eventually burn yourself out, physically and mentally. To build mental toughness, the mind needs to rest. I would suggest engaging in self-care practices once a week. Trust me, you will feel a lot better for it. 4. Practice acceptance. While I agree that we should all have big dreams and do everything in our power to achieve them, it is also important to be realistic. For example, there's no point in setting a goal to lose 100 pounds in 1 month, because that is never going to happen. When you put such extreme pressure on yourself, you become so discouraged when you fail that you give up altogether. However, when you accept that this is the situation you're currently in, and that it's going to take some time to get out of it, you are more likely to follow through and win. People who don't practice acceptance set unrealistic standards for themselves. They might think it's helping them, but it's actually hindering them. Using the weight loss example, practicing acceptance looks like this. You look in the mirror one morning and decide that you are tired of being overweight. You don't like how you look. You don't like how difficult it is to find clothes that fit you, and you notice that people don't treat you as well in comparison to your skinny friends. Research proves that overweight people are discriminated against. You imagine yourself at your ideal weight, living with confidence and enjoying life. You would like to be 100 pounds lighter, but you know that it's going to take a lot of work. You accept that this is what you look like now, and you will look like this until diet and exercise starts changing your body. You are aware that because you are so overweight, it will take some time before you start seeing changes, and you are okay with that. A realistic time frame to lose 100 pounds is 1 year by losing 2 pounds a week through diet and exercise. As long as you do the work, you will achieve your goal. 5. Find a role model. A role model is someone you look up to because they've achieved the kind of success that you want. You might have a role model now, but if you don't, look for someone who has overcome many challenges. People who have been through a lot to get where they are today are very resilient. Their minds are strong, and they don't allow anything to stand in their way. Their story will inspire you to keep pushing when you feel like giving up. I had several role models on my journey, but one of my favorites was the author Stephen King. Before he got his first publishing deal, he was rejected by 30 publishers. But he kept writing and kept submitting his books. Imagine the toll that takes on your mental health. You know you're talented, but it seems as if the experts don't agree with you. To keep going, you need to find the strength within your spirit. People can encourage you, but ultimately, it's up to you. Stephen King almost gave up. After his last rejection, he threw his book in the trash and told his wife he was done with writing. She fished it out and told him to try one more time. He did, and he got a publishing deal. Today, Stephen King has sold over 400 million books. Nelson Mandela once said, "Don't judge me by my successes. Judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again." He said this because success is not a straight path. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison on false charges before becoming the first black president of South Africa. When he was in a position of power, he still endured many struggles, but he continued with his life's purpose until he died. This is the same attitude you should adopt. Keep your vision at the forefront of your mind, and no matter what stumbling blocks you face, keep going until you arrive at your destination. Once you make up your mind that you are going to achieve your goals, regardless of the challenges you experience, eventually the universe will give you everything you deserve in life. I wish you every success on your journey to building mental toughness and becoming more resilient. If this video has helped you in any way, smash the like button and share it with friends and family. And if you haven't subscribed, What are you waiting for? Subscribe and turn on your post notifications so you are alerted every time I post a new video.